it's been said, it's been rumored that the next characters to be DLC is Dr. Octopus and Frank West.
Yeah.
Because actually the codes for those characters were supposedly available also in the disc. It's also in there. And I can actually say, cool, Doc Ock. I would really love to see that. I really want to see how Doc Ock actually will play it out. Shimagorath. Sorry. Did I say something?
No.
We're gonna have supposedly we're gonna have two characters that have tentacles.
Oh my god. Like Japanese rape.
Yeah, exactly. But why Capcom? Why Frank West? He's already on Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. And nobody likes it. You can actually go online and you will actually see that no one uses Frank West.
If you see one Frank West monthly, heck, I'm gonna step it up. If you see one Frank West in like 2 or 3 months, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Some gamers has explored the disc and has actually not only spotted the codes from some of the characters, but actually found some glitches in it.
Oh.
And I actually, Nuki showed me one of those glitches, and it's a really bad one. And that is one of the things that actually makes you think this game feels half finished.
Yeah.
They actually spend all the energy on the visuals. The visuals are great. The graphics are awesome. The music is stupendous.
Oh yeah.
I really love all the things that you're able to see in the game. But why you didn't polish the fighting engine? The fighting engine is awesome. It needs a little bit more polishing. And all these glitches that are now available to on the internet actually makes you think, damn, this game is half finished.
Yeah.
They actually, Capcom seems to actually get lazy in this one.
I have no words. It's just.
You actually see more of the glitches than I have.
Yeah, first I was able
to elaborate on that.
I was able to perform one of them, which is Spencer and Hager glitch. Like with Hager, you do this. He has a move, violent axe. I think is the name, where he kind of like does like 3 hits on you and you bounce. And if you do the punchy super that he has, I forget the name, and on the second punch, right there, when it hits, you change to Spencer's grabbing super, the character just flies on the ground. It just stays there like
it's like
suspended.
Like he's floating right on top of the ground.
Yeah.
And stays like that. Like he's free falling.
Yeah.
Exactly on this high of the ground.
Yeah, and it stays like that for like 5 to 10 seconds. I don't remember what time exactly, but
I believe it was about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
The thing is that you cannot do anything to him for those 10 seconds.
Yeah, you can actually get off of the screen while the character is free falling. It's stupid.
And there's a lot of other glitches on the game. We haven't been able to go through all of them. That was the first one that we actually went on, and it's really bad. And it's really bad that this game has glitches like this. It was really sad. Now let's go with one of the topics that many people are actually reaching out about, and it is the simple mode. And I just want to start by saying I prefer to be defeated by someone by his skills than being defeated by someone is using the simple mode. The simple mode is the same thing as Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. You can actually use the classic controller, or you can actually use the arcade stick. But if you were using the Wii mode and the nunchuck, actually gives you a simple mode for the game. That is the simple mode on Tatsunoko.
Yep.
And actually, it didn't work very well for hardcore fighters. One of the problems is that you can actually perform special moves that requires charging, and you can actually do them
over and over again.
Oh, exactly. That's the word I was looking for. Like Zero's special move.
Yeah, Harangeki. In Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, it's Sonic Boom Motion. You know, charge back and then forward, and then the attack button. In simple mode, it's just one press with a simple press of the button. You can go Harangeki, Harangeki, Harangeki.
You have a lot of people online doing that move over and over again. That's the only thing they actually do.
And it's even worse when it's lagging. Because they just keep doing that, and you can't get out of it. Because you try to super jump, and it's like you do the super jump, but this is your character. 5 seconds later. And he falls back again.
Now, it's a bigger problem, the simple mode on the PlayStation 3?
Not, at least for me, not really. Because simple mode, apparently, I haven't tried it, but supposedly it limits you a lot farther in the game. Because, for example, some characters that don't have level 3, that have level 3 super moves, supposedly they can't do it on simple mode. Supposedly. I haven't tried it.
I haven't tried it.
I don't want to try it. I want to stay with how I learned, which is the complete setup from my controller. I don't want to try simple mode at all. But
I really hate the idea of the simple mode, where you have people that dedicate themselves to learn the moves for the game, take their time and practice to master the moves in the game, just like we have been doing ever since we were playing fighting games. And now you have a mode where anyone can actually come and challenge you, and all that person has to do is just press one button.
yeah.
And that person comes, say, I won, I beat you, yeah, you use simple mode. But the thing is that Capcom actually decided to do the simple mode because they wanted to bring new gamers to the game. Not the casual gamer, but people that haven't played fighting games before. And actually Capcom believe that this simple mode actually will allow those new gamers to come in and be able to fight against real hardcore gamers of the game, which is completely untrue. Because it doesn't matter how many times you will be using the simple mode, if you actually know how to fight, you actually know how to do the moves, and you actually know how to time everything on this game, that person is not going to have any chance against you. There's no way that simple mode is going to be able to give that person the ability to defeat a hardcore gamer, an experienced fighter, video game fighter in the game, whatever. There's no way. There's no way in hell. So I don't know why they actually bothered their energy in creating a simple mode. They can take the simple mode out and they can actually use that memory space to do spectator mode.
Please.
Another thing that people actually are fighting about, not only because of the simple mode, is the normal mode that the game has. The controllers have a very similar layout to Tatsunoko vs. Capcom.
They're still fighting about that too.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are still fighting that. There's a lot of reviews that actually bitch about that. And I don't know why, because it's not hard to master. It's really easy. It's really easy. The thing is that there's an idea that many people actually pointed out in some reviews. If you have a simple mode and you have this normal mode now, why didn't you actually include a classic mode? Which actually give me the ability to use the controllers like I use them on Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That would be actually good. But let me tell you, ever since we got Marvel vs. Capcom games, we have been given different fighting layouts for each one of them. The first two, we should just do it here, was X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Superhero vs. Street Fighter. Use the normal 6-button layout, the classic button layout as always. Then we jump to Marvel vs. Capcom. We actually has the 6-button layout, but it also has some combinations that had never been used here. Then they actually changed the controllers when they went to Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Yeah. So in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, we didn't have the classic layout. Yeah. We have actually dropped two of the buttons.
Don't need it.
They don't need it. And it gave us 4 buttons to fight. And many people say, I don't know, the new mode is not good because you don't have a specific punch or a specific kick. It's an attack punch. It's not an attack punch. It's not an attack button or anything like that. Actually, you have to learn each button for each character. It's gonna give you a different move for each character. For some move, he's gonna give you a kick. For other characters, it's gonna give you a punch. But it's gonna be the same always, depending on the area that you are or whatever the move that you're doing. But once you learn this, do this, and this, do that, it's the same thing. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 gave us a 4-button layout. And guess what? The first 2 buttons has 2 different sets of moves in each one. You have the 6-button layout in a 4-button layout. If you actually press the small punch, you have the small and the hard punch, and you have the small and the hard kick on Marvel vs. Capcom 2. But you actually have a medium on that game. If you press the small button twice, you will do the small one, and then you will do the medium, and then you press the hard button. So you have a combination of 3 presses in 2 buttons. So what's the problem of dropping just 1 button and have 3 buttons with all the moves on that spot? It's really easy.
It worked for Tatsunoko. Why?
Actually, the layout is perfected on this game.
Yeah.
From Tatsunoko. It actually gives you a launcher button, which is the special button.
Yeah.
Which is a hard kick or a hard punch in the air. If you actually look at it in some different perspective, you have the 4-button layout. And I really like the mission mode. But I actually do have a problem with the mission mode, which is the same problem that many people actually have, is that the mission mode actually tells you you have to do this, but it doesn't tell you how to do it. And many people actually say that it's annoying, it is useless, that actually you have more fun on practice mode, training mode than doing the missions. I actually have done, I'm still doing the missions. I don't have much time to play the game like Nuki here, who doesn't do anything else.
Hey!
But the thing is that I actually enjoy the mission mode. In your case,
I liked it at first. It really helped me get the hang of combos and such like that, but most of the combos in there are very, 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 very impractical. And what I mean by impractical is that it's really, sometimes it's just really, really hard to do it. And I mean, it's really easy to do it on a lifeless dummy. I mean, it's really easy to do it there. But in a heated battle with a live opponent, it's really hard to do it, and even much more so online. With all the lag and all the crap I mean, there's a combo, for example, that I do with Chun-Li that is the 3 hits on the ground and lightning kicks, and I can do an air combo out of that. And I can do it online, but it's even harder than doing it offline.
Nuki was telling me, yeah, you know that you can actually go and play online better by going offline.
Yeah.
And I said, what?
Yeah, that's true. Just try it. Go on ranked or player match. Go on online mode, and go on ranked or player match. Just search anything. It's gonna fail. It's gonna say fail to connect to opponent.
Why he has to do it? That actually happens in Street Fighter 4 too.
I don't know why.
Why it actually fails to connect with another character, with another player most of the time?
I don't know. I seriously don't know. It's really annoying. It's like you go online mode and sorry, and it fails like out of 10 times it fails like 8 or 9. I kid you not. And you go offline on training or arcade mode and you're expecting a matchup, and it almost always you know
You actually play the arcade game just for 10 seconds, and already you have a new challenge.
exactly, and it doesn't have that problem.
You want to play online, unless you want to do a lobby where you're going to be with some of your friends and you want to have some online matches. Don't go online. Go to arcade and choose to be interrupted. How is that called? I don't remember the name of it. But it is when you were on the arcades that you were playing the game and someone wants to challenge you and drop the quarter into the game. It's the same principle. So you're going to be fighting against the arcade and someone online is going to challenge you. And the thing is that it actually happens after 10 seconds of the match starting. You're gonna get challenged right after 10 seconds of being started.
Sometimes the match doesn't even start. It goes like fight. Here comes the new champion. Wait a minute. What?
There's something I'm gonna promise you on that mode, on arcade mode. You're never going to be able to defeat the first team of the arcade mode because you're gonna get constantly challenged by online gamers.